As you might have noticed, I'm not in London, but I'm in Italy, in Sardegna. We are in 2021. One of my friends here actually had one of these DJI Osmo Pocket. This is the first version that came out in 2018. Still, it looked great. I never tried it, so I decided to borrow it and test it out, see if it's still worth it in 2021 and see who this device is for. Before we start getting into the techie stuff, I'm gonna show you a tiny vlog I filmed here and around the area with the DJI Osmo Pocket 4, but also matching it with the DJI drone Mavic Air 2. I filmed the material on either devices in 4K at 60 frames per second. I just tried to match the two because it's the same brand, same frame rate, same resolution, and I think it's a good idea to actually shuffle up the footage you have with drone material and a camera, for example. Bear in mind the vlog has been recorded with the native microphone of the Osmo Pocket. We changed location. We are going now to the Arch of the Kisses, L'Arco dei Baci, still here in the south of Sardinia, not far from where we were before, but it's a completely different thing. Once again, it's a rocky beach with a natural pool and also the arch, so we're gonna find it out together because I've never been here.
Wish that I could stay in this moment forever, so I can hold you in my arms. I will carry you on my shoulders as long as I'm able. Scare the monsters under your bed. Deep in the biting, liking for you is all I need. Until my heart gives in, I will do everything I can for you.
So that was it. That was the short vlog filmed here, and we're gonna talk about some of the features. But first of all, what is the DJI Osmo Pocket? This is a tiny gimbal. It's a stabilizer with the camera included already, and you can see it here. It looks very much like the one from the drone, from the DJI Mavic Air, for example. It's a 3-axis stabilizer. If you don't know what a gimbal is or a 3-axis stabilizer is, go and check my previous video. The good thing of gimbals is that they are stabilized through a mechanic system. So it's not a digital stabilization, which is gonna give you some warp effects in post-production. It doesn't look great. This is stabilized on the tool itself. You have 3 different motors, and again, go and check the videos to understand how they work. But basically, your material will look smooth and stable. We're gonna talk about the dimensions and the weight of this tiny device. It's very short, 121.9 millimeters by 36.9 millimeters by 28.6. It really fits in your hand with no problem. I love the size of this thing. The weight is 116 grams. You don't even feel it. You don't even know it's in your hand or in your pocket, and that's why the device became quite popular, I guess. Price-wise, you can find it now in 2021 at £221 on Amazon, and you can find the links in the description tab. Let's go through the build of the Osmo Pocket. Well, once again, it's so portable. That's what I love so far about it. There's a display, a tiny screen here at the back of the device, so the camera is in the front. At the back you will find a display. Now this is very small, so sometimes it's quite hard to see what you're filming and what you're framing. I mean, you can still see it, but it's tiny, and I recommend to attach a smartphone to it, but we're gonna get into that a bit later. in the video. The Osmo Pocket features two different microphones, one at the back and one at the bottom. So you can literally talk to the device. It comes with a padded silicone sleeve for safety and portability with a hand strip as well. SD cards, actually mini SD cards slot on the side. There's a USB-C type connection to charge the Osmo Pocket. There's another port at the back that comes out where you can insert another USB-C connector to connect your smartphone. Battery and battery life, well, the battery is an internal battery. It takes around 70 minutes to charge and the battery lasts more or less 140 minutes. If you record at 60 frames per second in 4K as I did during the vlog, I think the battery lasted less than 140 minutes, to be honest, less than 2 hours. It goes down pretty quickly. How do we use this thing? So it's very simple. There's a couple of buttons at the back. You want to press and hold the black button and the Osmo Pocket will turn on. There you go, you're ready to film if you want to, or you can just go through the menu. To record, you press the rec button, which is the red button here. I think the default mode of the gimbal is the follow mode, which means whatever you do with your hand, the gimbal and the camera will follow your movement and make it smoother. If you want to go in selfie mode, you triple press the power button, 1, 2, 3, and the camera will turn towards you and you're ready to vlog or take selfies. Well, to use it is very simple. If you never use the gimbal, you literally just want to move your hand, follow your subject, and the camera will follow your movement. So you want to have gentle movements anyway, even if the camera is stabilized. You can do sudden movements if your style, your video style, supposed to be so, but otherwise just follow the subject gently. Now, as I mentioned, you can set and operate the gimbal through the display screen you have here, but it's tiny. So what I recommend is to attach your smartphone to it, because you also can access the app and different features that you cannot access through the device itself. Once you connect your smartphone to the device, the app will turn on automatically, so it will open up on your smartphone, and from here you can use your smartphone as a display, as a screen. So of course you can see a bigger image, which is great. You can understand how the focus works and if your image is on focus, because that's one of the problems I faced. On the small display, I could never tell if my subject was on focus. And even though I was using the big screen, the smartphone as a screen, still some of my footage wasn't in focus. So that's one of the issues if you are thinking to purchase the Osmo Pocket. It's not really an issue to focus, to have a single shot focus. You need to tap on the area you want to focus on every time you start recording. Bear that in mind. If you get it, you need to tap on your subject every time you start recording. Let's talk about some of the features of the DJI Osmo. First of all, we talk about the sensor. With this camera, you can take 12 megapixels photos. The lens has a fixed aperture at f2 and the angle of view is 80 degrees. A great feature is that you can actually set your gimbal manually. So you can switch from auto to manual and you can really choose all the settings you want, including the exposure, the temperature, the frame rate, and the resolution of your image. And let's talk about resolutions and frame rate actually. You can go up to 4K, so you can record of course in Full HD, 1080p, and go up to 4K, and you have the option to choose different frame rates from 24 frames per second up to 120. But when you switch to slow motion at 120 frames per second, bear in mind that you will have a crop factor of 4. So a lot of crop there when you use slow motion. Once again, keep it in mind. Talking about the app and the modes, what I liked is that you actually can choose a D-Cine-like profile, which means you're gonna record in a flat profile that you can color grade in post-production. So if you wanna go pro, that's the way to go. You can choose two different recording format, MOV or MP4, and I went for the MOV for more quality. You have different options like the active track where you place the subject in frame, and the Osmo Pocket will follow your subject moving around. Then you have other features which I rarely use, but you've got time lapses, hyperlapses. Of course, you can switch from photo to video, and you can take also panoramic shots. In terms of microphones, you can also attach an external microphone if you have another adapter, so you need to purchase that separately. But it's a great feature because I had some issues with the microphone. You can actually set up the gain of the microphone. You can choose 3 different options about the gain: low, medium and high, and if it's set too low you can barely hear what you actually said during the vlog. Definitely recommend an external microphone always anyway. We reached the conclusion of the video. I'm gonna share some of my thoughts, some of the things I liked and didn't like about the DJI Osmo Pocket version 1. You need to take this device for what it is. So of course it can't compare to a small DSLR or mirrorless camera. First of all, it's a different tool. I think this is for vloggers, travel vloggers, people that want to travel light and document their lives through a camera device. What I noticed using it in 60 frames per second in 4K, it overheated, it never turned off, but still it becomes very hot, and the battery life went down quite quickly. What I love is the Pro mode, once again, to be able to manually set all the different features and settings of the device and get the image you really want to. So again, exposure, temperature and anything else, the focus, all these features. Unfortunately, there is no ND filter, which I think it's a must for video making. So what you want to do on this device, unfortunately, to compensate the overexposure, you need to use a very quick shutter speed, and for some of my images I had to go up to 4,000 of a second, so you will not have a natural motion blur because the shutter is just too quick. But you can purchase separately ND filters, and I tried to look for them on Amazon, link in the description tab. One of the downsides of the device itself is the small monitor. It's good to have it, but I definitely recommend to use it with a smartphone. We talked about the focus. It actually works if you remember to tap on your subject every time. The quality of the images and the video is actually really good. Compared to a GoPro, for example, I think it's better because you have a bit of shallow depth of field, so you have the bokeh effect, which you can't achieve on a GoPro, for example. It's quite pleasant to color grade in post-production as well. What I was missing on the device itself without using the smartphone was a port for earphones, so you can actually live monitoring what you're saying. If you don't have a smartphone, you can't listen to what you said. But through the smartphone you can use the smartphone speakers to re-watch and re-listen to your video. I was also missing here a screw to put on a tripod or a support, but apparently there's another adapter you can attach to the Osmo and use it on a tripod. If you use the smartphone also, you can see the audio levels, which is great. So if you can't really listen to your audio, you can still see the waves and understand if you recorded some audio there. If you touch your smartphone though, also I think the smartphone will be charged through the Osmo Pocket, and that's why the battery goes down quite quickly. All these things to bear in mind. Overall, I think it's a fun tool. Once again, for vloggers, could be ideal, and you've seen the quality in my initial vlog. I've seen stuff online, really good stuff made with the DJI Osmo Pocket, and I think it's still worth it in 2021 anyway. The new version, I think it's waterproof, so you might look into that as well. And that's all for the video. I hope it helped you out, guys, and see if this is a device you're looking for in 2021. Consider to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Also go and check my new channel about travels. Actually, this is a question I want to ask you. When you watch my channel, what do you expect me to talk about? Would it be a problem if I shared also other type of content like travel or my daily life vlogs? Because it's quite hard to have 2 different channels and build a new audience, but I also want to understand from you that you're watching if it's a problem to see a different type of content on this channel, which is more camera gear and filming, video making related. Can't wait to see your reply down here, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you around.
memories far